By the way, we should notate that they did the commercial-free first hour gimmick. And I don't know if that threw them off for the rest of the show, but boy, this was a long first hour, wasn't it? Well, I don't know. They could have told the story that they told with the bloodline in the first hour in maybe about 10 minutes less, I got to be honest with you, because this did go a while. But at the same time, it's the top guys in the company, and it's the only thing that wasn't really legend-oriented. And remember, this was going to be, because apparently they were going to have a tribal council where they had Alpha and Sika and Rikishi. Stop it. Sweet Daddy couldn't make it down from Toronto.
But Sika the porn star was available.
Oh my God. Is she still blonde? I wonder. Probably gray now. Anyway, apparently they couldn't travel. They couldn't make it. So they changed it to the trial of Sami Zayn. But from the time that the bloodline.
Yeah, because they didn't get The Rock. That's why they changed it.
Well, from the time the bloodline made their entrance until the time the promo was over, it was almost 25 minutes. And is good, but gee, Manelli, all right. So, and 5 minutes is the entrance of the bloodline. And I know they're stars again, but I just think that they contribute. During the time that they're making this grand entrance, the announcers are fleshing out the story. But as you said, a lot of times tune out the announcers. And secondly, I think a lot of people, if they're DVRing or even pausing for commercials, they skip past the announcers setting the shit up because they know by now this is a 5-minute entrance. And if you have the ability to skip it, aren't you? At this point.
If you have hearing issues with different pitches, there's a chance you only hear Corey Graves on this show.
Well, and that's nothing, because I have problems because of the pyro damage that's been done to me in the past with my hearing to begin with, and it is hard when they get the music going in whole 9 yards. But anyway, it's a lot of the show is zippable because of the length of the entrances and the commercial breaks and the various gaga before you get to anything. But everybody there, it's Roman and Heyman and Solo and Usos and poor Sammy, and they're all around the conference table. And Paul is prosecuting Sami Zayn for, basically being a traitor and a turncoat. And when the fans were chanting ECW, Paul said, ECW is dead, and I wish the same for Sami Zayn. Last week he was schmooly, right? Schmooly. But the fans are chanting Sammy, and Paul's telling Roman and everybody that Sammy's a traitor and he's in conspiracy with Kevin Owens, and they came up with a video of Sammy a couple times in the past either not helping the bloodline or being day late and dollar short or whatever. And it tied in a number of things that they've done in finishes and angles over the past couple months. It is very clever. I'd like to think that they meant to do this from the start, but I guarantee you one or two of those enterprising production assistants had to be the one to go back and log all this footage and figure out a way to make sense out of it.
Heyman was great.
Heyman was fantastic.
When he showed, he goes, here's him showing For Life. What does he want to join, the NWO? The Horsemen? Yeah. What is this?
The Dangerous Alliance? He had to get that one in there. And then he accuses Sammy of assault. They had a clip when Sammy did a promo and accidentally kind of bumped into Roman Reigns. And see, he was trying to take over his head of the table. And Paul demanded that Sami Zayn be found guilty. I'll tell you, if he had played the fucking part of William Jennings Bryan in Inherit the Wind, it would have goddamn even been greater. What did they call William Jennings Bryan in Inherit the Wind? What was his name? God damn it. I just watched that the other night.
I didn't.
Anyway, it was a thinly veiled serialization of the Scopes Monkey trial. So finally, Sammy is just he's shitting himself, right? He's looking at all of it, and he says, Paul, it hurts coming from you. All those times you hugged me, you said you loved me. And he did a great job of being indignant at this whole thing. And he doesn't need to defend himself. His defense is he has no defense. This is all just completely made up out of whole cloth. And then Roman gets mad because no defense? You won't even argue for this? You won't fight for this? I've given you this. And he sends Solo over to give him the spike. And Sami looks like the guy that's about to be executed. He's just standing there, sitting there waiting for it. And Solo's about to give him the spike. And Jay blocks Solo's thumb, catches his arm. And Jay said, wait a minute. And Jay started talking quick. Apparently somebody had give him the Iggy. This needs to move along. Because Jay put together a video and it just pops up. And there is like 5 or 6 things that Sami has done to help them, where he's eaten the Claymore kick for Roman, and he's prevented somebody else from making a save, and he's been there right at the moment. And the fans but here's the thing again, because they've created this situation, the fans are now cheering the video of one of the heels, Sami Zayn, screwing all of the baby faces. But that's where we're at. And so Jay, of all people, the guy that, I hated you, but now you've proven yourself. You didn't give up, and your family. And Paul, meanwhile, in the corner facially is having a snit over there. And the fans are chanting Sami Uso. And finally, Roman declares him, I find you not guilty for now. And basically he says, finish tonight. And then disappear till the Royal Rumble. I don't want to see you. And if you can pass your final test, then we'll see if you're bloodline or not. So again, a tease for the pay-per-view. Very nice. But by the time that they've finished that interview, remember Hogan welcomed us and we got a package. And this interview, we're half an hour in the show. And then we come back from the break, and the first match is the Usos. No, it wasn't a break, because it's commercial free. They just went to the announcers for a second and come back to the ring, and there's the Usos, and here comes the Judgment Day.